Hi, my name is Fayaz and I am a Microsoft certified trainer. This is a short video regarding DAX. We basically have an upcoming workshop on DAX. DAX stands for Data Analysis Expression. And to keep it simple, DAX is the official formula language written to a pivot table. The intention is to keep this video short just for you to understand that is DAX really meant for you and is it worth your time to invest learning in DAX. So without much delay, let me quickly show you certain case studies and then I will talk to you about the upcoming DAX workshop which we have, starting this Saturday. So coming back, we have a products table. We have 606 products in total. We have sales. So a sales table, we have 60,000 records under the sales table. So when you go into numerical count, there is 60,000 records. If a sale has been made, it's been recorded in the sales table. The common column between both of them is the product key. And we have the output. So I basically use Power Pivot. You can write a DAX statement in Excel, as well as you can write a DAX statement in Power BI. The workshop which we will be conducting will be in Power BI. So we'll be writing DAX statements in Power BI. However, if you're not a Power BI user and you're only using Excel, still you can take part in the class, and any code, whatever code basically we'll be writing in the program can also be implemented in Excel. Coming back over here, I have the year, I have July, and the first is the total sales. So it's a pretty straightforward thing, the total sales for that particular year and month. Now the next thing coming back over here, we have the year, we have the month, and we have the total sales. The next question is, I want to check the maximum sales. Now, when you say maximum sales, I am not talking about the maximum sales of 2005 July. I am speaking from the perspective of product. So for example, if a specific product has been sold, let's say 10 times, and the maximum revenue it is generated 50,000, whereas any other product has been sold say 100 times, but the revenue what they have generated is 25,000. In that case, I want the number of 50,000 because the maximum sales generated by any specific product, group by product, is basically 50,000. So just to keep things in a little better perspective, I have created another pivot over here on the, just to show you. There you go. So I have the year. If you see this pivot table, I have the year, I have the date, as well as I have the product key. So the product key has the information of the product. So if you look at this pivot table over here, in the year 2005, in the month of July, product 350 has got maximum sales of 46,000. So I have sorted this data in a descending. So you have the maximum sales on top. So the product 350 has got maximum sales of 46,574. So this is the number which I am looking at. Now, to get this output, I basically have to write my DAX statement. So I'll be showing you, in that case, you can see over here, I probably get 46,574. Just to understand what statement did I write, I go into my Power Pivot. I'll show you my measures. First is I'll show you the max sales measure. So there you go, max sales, which is a simple statement about max sales. Remember, this quick video is not from the perspective of teaching you DAX. It's simple from the perspective of what can DAX exactly do. So I have simple a max formula, whereas I simply have sales amount. But that gives you the total of the entire column. Okay, whereas I don't want that. Okay, from that perspective, when I come up over here and show you product sales, over here I create another table. So I have another virtual table basically for the product so that I can iterate over the products table. And that's how I get my product sales over here. So that's how, this is the number I'm looking at, which is 46,000 and not the total number of 12,000. Okay. So again, this is what is basically possible with DAX. You can go into the granularity of your data, querying up your data. Okay. Then the next question is sales more than average. So for example, first of all, I want to calculate the average sales for the total period. Then I'll basically get a number. And if a particular product, the total sales of any specific product is greater than the average, only I want to take the total of that particular product. Otherwise, I don't want to take the total of it. That's another example. So how did I get this number? So sales, I have sales more than average. There you go. I go into edit. Okay. So I'll quickly just explain this. I take a variable where I have the average sales, and then I create an iterator. Okay. Over the sales table, I have a clause where the total sales is greater than the average sales. Only for that, I basically want to do sum x. Again, please don't try to understand the code. The only point is for you to understand that what all is possible in basically DAX. And obviously we cannot cover the entire possibility, but at least this will give you an idea of what you're basically doing. If you just want to make it simple, you're iterating over multiple virtual tables. That is what basically you're doing. I'll again repeat, you're iterating over virtual tables. Okay, there you go. And then one of the main functions of DAX is basically the time intelligence formulas. So I have the year to day. I'm comparing over here. So you see over here properly. I'll just keep a note for you that you can see over here properly in the month of April, it's getting reset. Look at this. Otherwise, you have April to May, May to June, June to July. Obviously, then you will be presenting the same data in a graphical format also, but this is what we have created. Then I have created the last 2 months, which means I have the September month. Front of September, you can see the data for July. So again, obviously, we can minus them, and on the basis of that, you can compare. You can compare the percent, okay, growth or percent decline. You can compare the YTD for the current year, for the previous year. Many possibilities. And then you have running total. So running total basically goes all the way from the start to the bottom. It doesn't reset on any year. So nor does it reset in the month of April. Look at this. Nor does it reset in the month of January. Look at this. So these are all basic codes which we are going to learn. Now what I have showed you is going to be accomplished in 5 hours, whereas this is a 25-hour program. Okay, just to show you the quick DAX codes for the YTD, and just show you how simple it is. These are all one-line codes. So if you see YTD over here, if I just do a edit on YTD, yes, total YTD is just a one-line code. Just write one line total YTD, and you simply give the year and month. And so these are all different time intelligence functions which basically you will be learning in the class. As well as if you want to calculate the running total, obviously running total uses formulas, and one of the most important functions in DAX is basically calculate. And just to cover calculate, we have over 2 to 2.5 hours of explanation only on the chapter of calculate. And the notes of only calculate is over 80 pages. Yes, you heard me correct. 80 pages of notes only talking about one particular topic, which is basically calculate. And if you really want to master DAX, this is one formula which you basically need to understand thorough. Okay, I go into cancel. So this is basically a quick introduction, basically what this program is. Now looking at this, you can ask yourself that does this sound interesting to you, and would you be asking such queries to your data? And if the answer is yes, then obviously I would definitely recommend you to invest in DAX and study DAX. Now coming back to the program which basically we are offering. So I'll quickly scroll down. This is a good video which I would recommend. If you haven't watched it, please do watch it. As well as we have conducted a 1-hour demo session. If you haven't found the link, it is there in the description. Please check that also. That gives you much more in detail. Please do not look at these videos from the perspective of learning. You're only looking at these videos from the perspective of understanding what DAX is. Okay, because a lot of concepts are not being covered. We just want you to understand what DAX is and basically how you can implement DAX. Okay, and it is really for you. Now, coming back to the program, I have spoken about is DAX available in Excel. I have just written the code and showed to you. Now, what are the 5 main reasons why I would recommend you to sign up with us and learn this beautiful formula language with us? First of all, it's a 25-hour program. It's a 25-hour instructor-led program. These are not videos. Okay, so I am the instructor, and we have kept a compact batch size, maximum 10 people for this workshop. Okay, and it's going to be interactive, where I'll be taking a topic, I'll be explaining it, I'll be coding, and then I'll ask you to write it. Then I'll ask you questions. We brainstorm on it. So it's a two-way communication. It's not that you sit in the class and you'll only look at the screen. That's not like that. You are not going to learn DAX like that. Very important. Now we cover right from the basics. Now it's very important, especially if you're a Power BI user. I am sure that you have already ventured into the visualizations. Power BI is much more than the visualization. Remember, it's your numbers which basically give life to the visualization. So that's very, very important. Okay, it's your numbers. How do you generate your numbers? You generate your numbers through writing codes. Codes are basically in DAX. Okay, very important. So we start right from the basics. Now, if anyone wants to understand DAX, they basically need to know the fundamentals of DAX. What I mean by filter context, row context, context transitions. If these concepts are very important. So the first half of the workshop, we dig deep in these concepts, because if you understand these concepts, depending on different tables, you are at different level altogether. Okay, so we talk about the core concepts of DAX. Now, even if you're using it, okay, even if you're using DAX, I am confident that, you know, you'll be adding much more to your knowledge. That's what I feel, but we can talk about that. We have a live one-on-one session, very important. Now you learn DAX, but at the same time, when you learn from our perspective because we are teaching you. But what about when you go back to your data? It's a completely different ball game. Now that's the way where we come in. We give you a 2-hour one-on-one free consultation where we sit with you. We look at your data. We tell you how to get started. We, you know, that initial touch is very important so that you get started on writing DAX on your codes, on your data model. So you are entitled for a free 2-hour one-on-one where nobody else is in the class. It's you and me, where, you know, you'll be showing me your data. I'm telling you, okay, this is the way you'll be going ahead. This is what you'll be writing. If you have a query, you can come back to us. Very important. So then get access to our WhatsApp group. Now, very important is to basically stay in touch. In 25 hours, I always say not in 25 hours, not in 250 hours. A DAX program is much more than that. So we have like a DAX meet every once in 15 days, or maybe much more regular than that, but at least once in 15 days where we call all the people who are basically studied with us. And it's a 1-hour class. 15 minutes is given to one person from first we decide who will talk about what he's done or if he has any query or what difficulty they are facing. 5 minutes is spent on brainstorming, not more than 5 minutes, and the remaining 30 minutes I take over and I take a particular topic, or I give them a revision on a particular concept. So it's basically to create that synergy, to keep in touch, so everyone come together and we all contribute in each other's DAX journey. So this is very important. It's a very dynamic group. This initiative was recently started. We have approximately had at least 3 meetups, but according to me, that's one of the fantastic things we have. And that's exactly what I mean by stay connected. Even after the workshop, you're in touch with me. It's not that you're only in touch with just till the workshop. Even after the workshop is completed, if you have a question, you can always connect with me. I can guide you. That's basically how this workshop is being conducted. Just to complete things, it's a 25-hour class. We are starting Saturday. That's this Saturday, 26th of September, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a weekend class, Saturday, Sunday. And the total cost for the workshop is rupees 12,500 if you're making the full payment. And if you want installments, it's 7,000 into 2. You'll end up paying 1,500 extra. If you have any questions, please connect with me on WhatsApp. And I'm sure you must be having my details, or else you can find it in the description. Thank you so much for watching the video.